And how do you get conflict and pain? Well, one of the good ways is you grind that rusty dagger in the open wound. But the thing is, where am I grinding that rusty dagger? Who has the open wounds? Is it my characters?
I thought my chef and that belly of yours looks like a nice place to bury it.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. A day in which I finally realized that even though Little Ghost is still with me, he's not doing great, but he's still with me. It's not a regular sickness. Hamsters have a fast metabolism. He has been sick for a full week. He would either be better or gone by this time. So I don't know what is actually wrong. He can barely breathe out of his sinuses. When he is sleeping, he breathes out of his mouth, and hamsters and other rodents can't do that unless they can't breathe any other way. So he doesn't move fast, but he's still active. He's a little bit clumsy, but he's not getting enough air most of the time. I don't want to euthanize him because he's still active and he doesn't appear to be suffering aside from the not being able to breathe well, so... And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. If you could leave me any kind of comment, that would help keep my channel alive. Even if it's for the algorithm, thumbs up and thank you. That would be double plus good. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. Without their help, I and my pets would not be alive. So it is very, very nice that these people are helping me stay alive. Thank you much. I don't know how long I should keep my hands in the air. I have forgotten what time I put them up. But thank you, each and every one of you. And if you'd like to help me out by becoming a patron, there are links in the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal for donations. I have an Amazon wishlist link if you'd like to help me out without sending money. And then there's a post office box. You can send me anything at all you like. Postcards, keychains, anything at all. I will open them up and show them off on camera. Thumbs up for that. Yay! Front-loading videos over. Boy, I'm really late today. I have therapy. And I am pretty time blind. I mean, time is zooming here. Normally I get this done real fast, and I'm not even done yet. So, yay. So, yeah, it's been time, and I have therapy today, and I've been pretty time blind and not able to function really, really well because of my ADHD. You know, life is life. Thumbs up for that. Still trying to do as best I can. He's hanging in. Everything is just waiting to see what goes on. So thumbs up for that. It's stated to have therapy today, so when this goes up, it's going to be later than normal, but such is life. I have not had a lot happen in my life because I'm still being badly affected by his state. Whenever I hear him struggling to breathe, I just immediately have tears in my eyes. It drags my mood down. So... joy on that. But I've been trying to still exist. I've been playing video games. I've been listening to music. I still go on walkies. I'm trying to be as creative as possible. I do want to talk on the creative front. One of the things that I do when I'm dealing with my characters on the inside and the outside, the razor's edge, and all of my cryptid characters, is I refer to doing something which is grinding the rusty dagger in the open wound, because conflict and pain makes for good stories. And how do you get conflict and pain? Well, one of the good ways is you grind that rusty dagger in the open wound. But the thing is, where am I grinding that rusty dagger? Who has the open wounds? Is it my characters? They're fictional. They don't have open wounds. They don't have anything except what I give them. They're not real. They don't have any open wounds for me to grind the dagger into. Is it you? Am I grinding the dagger into your open wounds? I don't know you. I don't know what wounds you have. How am I supposed to grind the dagger into your wounds? No. I'm grinding the dagger into my wounds. And when I'm digging hard, trying to get the tip of the dagger into bone so it really hurts, yeah, I'm doing that to everything that hurts me. Whether it's symbolically, metaphorically, figuratively, and even I don't understand why a lot of these things hurt. It's subconscious. Some of it I know exactly why, some of it I have no ideas. But yeah, I'm grinding that rusty dagger into my own open wounds, trying to make it hurt. I know that I've gotten the tip of the dagger caught in bone, and I'm dragging that ragged metal along the living edge of bone underneath all that meat when I start to cry about what I'm doing to my characters. And you say, well, why would you cry over what you're doing to the characters? Remember, I'm not doing it to the characters. I am symbolically grinding that dagger into my own pain, trying to make it hurt as much as possible, trying to dig that dagger into my own bone so it hurts. Yeah, I will cry at times when I do these things to my characters, because just like a finely tailored, expensive suit, what I put my characters through is finely tuned and finely tailored to cause me maximum emotional and mental pain. So the fact that I cry to pain that is custom built to hurt me the most, that's not really too much of a surprise, is it? But at that point, when I do cry, that's when I know, yeah, I rubbed the dagger into the bone. I don't need to try and make it hurt anymore. I mean, I hate what I do to some of my characters and such in some of these stories. It's horrible. I hate what I've done to the cryptids. I can't forgive myself for some of the things I do to my characters. But as much as I have characters that have really dramatic, horrible endings, I want to talk about this one character because they have an ending that's not really bad, but I don't know that I'd call it good. The character is Stovepipe Johnny. Now, everybody in this inside, outside, razor's edge, and the cryptid things has extra universal genes and chromosomes that through exposure can activate. That happens out here as well, although very, very rarely compared because there's very little stimulus out here for these genes to actually activate and do anything. But when they do, they can be amazing. One of them is Stovepipe Johnny. But he left home at a very early age, and before he was even 15 years old, he had crossed the United States twice via railroad. So he was adventurous, he has itchy feet, can't stay in one place for long. Very, very individualistic. So when his sight activates and he begins seeing doors, yeah, he's curious, but he avoids it for a while because that's not what he wants, and it's attractive, and he's going to turn his back on that. Until he turns 19, goes into the door to the Apple Rock razor's edge, and discovers that, yeah, this is actually what he's needed and wanted all his life. Manages to go through the razor's edge into the inside, and then gets a job in the Crimson Kingdom. The Crimson Kingdom being more, as everything on the inside of the razor's edge, more community oriented. When you work at a place and they provide you with factory housing, it is true, real factory housing. I mean, you get a house, a good house. You don't have to pay a penny for it. You just treat it as your home. You are provided with clothing and food. They want you to work. They're not trying to run you to death. It's not hyper-capitalistic. So he becomes good friends with a housemate, and at 20 years old, they've been really good friends. At Stovepipe Johnny's birthday, they go out, they get a little tipsy, and they're coming home and singing in the streets, and your odds of being eaten are always just small. Never zero, never very small, never vanishingly small, just small. Even as they're walking through the Crimson Kingdom, they get to a dark alley part. They hear crashing and screams, and they're dithering because they're kind of drunk. And then a big lizard thing comes out of the alley, runs between them. Basically a flip of a coin. Could have bitten Stovepipe Johnny, could have bitten Jax. It bit Jax as it ran by. Jax being his friend. And the bite, of course, goes across through here, down, and across at the waist. And with one bite and shake, Jax's head goes one way, the remaining arm goes another, and his two legs go flopping in another direction, and then the lizard is gone into the other side of the alley with more crashes and oncoming screams. Jax didn't even have a chance to yell, shout, or scream before he was gone. Stovepipe Johnny continued living on the razor's edge, but of course that made a big impression on him. He spent the rest of his time just going out and adventuring, traveling out, far out, on distant layers, traveling to glamours, to places that no one had been to, just adventuring, having the time of his life. One of the things that happens with Stovepipe Johnny is he ages 1 year for every 2. He's definitely not immortal. So when he's like what we would call 90, 180 years have passed. That is about the point. He's way out, far, far out there traveling. About 90 years old, still pretty hale and hearty, big enough and all that he's out adventuring in the middle of nowhere at 90. And he takes a bad fall that decades ago would have meant nothing. And he spends next to a week lying there, taking care of himself, desperately terrified that he's broken his hip and he's gonna die out there. As it turns out, just badly bruised bone, so he gets up, is able to get back, and that scares him badly. So at 90 years old, he stops adventuring. And that makes a change in him. He still stays active in the community, and there are communities for whatever you like, by age, by gender, by interests, anything you want you can find in a community. He finds a community of like-minded older people and is friends with them. And that goes on for about a year, and then one day things change again when Stovepipe Johnny realizes he can't remember what his mother looked like or what her name was. And even his father, he can't remember what his father's name was or even what he looked like. And he knows he came from the United States. He can remember that, but he can't remember what the United States looks like or where you'd find it on a globe. Now, he can remember Jax when he was 19 and up to 20. He can tell you and describe Jax to the point you could paint a portrait and it would look like a picture. But he can't remember what his mother and father looked like. And even his birthday is kind of foggy. And so Stovepipe Johnny spends more and more time sitting and trying to remember what happened in his past when he was out here. And he spends more and more time just introspective and thinking, and then after about 2 months, his friends just one day notice that he stopped showing up, and they go to check on him, and yeah, he fell asleep in his chair, and well, he died while he was sleeping. So he doesn't, remember when I said that these are designed for maximum pain? Yeah, I felt a wave of emotion coming down there. It's not a bad ending, but is it a happy ending? It's not. It can be seen as neutral, I don't really see it as a happy ending. But I don't know. Let's see what you think. Because that's how Stovepipe Johnny ends. Not everybody, of course. There's endings like Jack's, but he has a big full life and then just fades away. Which I want to talk more about my supernatural type cryptid, Melanie Cable, tomorrow. There's no ghosts, there's nothing supernatural. It is science within this setting. For some reason, there are some people with the quantum knotting, the pattern that is caused, and how the pattern works as we think. The matrix of the cryptid energy for these people manages to learn how the waves and patterns of the matrix react to the pattern moving, and becomes a self-editing, self-powering wave in the matrix. So after you die, there's this that is a ghost. Not a ghost. It is science. It is a self-perpetuating, self-editing wave in the matrix of energy. But it thinks and feels and is for a while. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. There's also I'm going to talk about this one here too. It has nothing to do with creativity, but I have D100 Dungeon stuff, and I really like D100 Dungeon as a solo role-playing game thing. Martin Knight, who does the D100 stuff, he's got 6 books and got all sorts of supplements for the D100 game. That's not the only game he does. He has a full product line that if you take a look on a list like this, it's only like D100 Dungeon is only like one of 10 games in a game line. He does a lot. And he just released D100 Space, where you travel through the galaxy in a spacecraft as a captain, having adventures that way. All random, thick book, hokey smokes. I mean, he must spend all of his time creating. It's amazing. Thumbs up for that. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well. Let me call up my Chrome. We have been, that's not the top. I was all the way down. Adrian_FNTES, thumbs up and thank you. Jesse Koskinen, it is a pretty silly sign, and good to see you in there. And David Bowie was awesome. We have Clown May, KLOWNYMAE, thumbs up, thank you. JAYY, thumbs up, thank you very much. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything for my birthday. It all depends on my ADHD, really. But good to see you in the comments. Ron Noob, thumbs up and thank you. We have Mellow Jello, greatly appreciated. There is Vortex, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Chris, greatly appreciated and good to see you as well. There is Flora Mew, thumbs up and good to see you in the comments. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Now there's Ben B, greatly appreciated and good to see you. We have RJ Mitchell, thumbs up, thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy the things. And then we have Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Psycho Jazz, thumbs up and thank you, and that is it. 13 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, hokey smokes, as stated, I got therapy today, so I don't know what I'm going to get done after that. I'm going to try and do something, but we shall see. Hopefully, you can get done the things that you want to get done, but if you can't, don't beat yourself up. And of course, with all the things that are happening in the world, just be as safe as possible. Please, you don't need to get sick or hurt or unalived. So please just be careful. Thumbs up. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.